Hey everyone, welcome from the depths. I'm Minty, and this is episode 37 of the Frigate Fracas tournament. This episode, we've got the Kolibri by myself, going up against the new challenger here. The first time we've seen this, the Loathing by Skyrocks, which is an interesting hull pattern there with its paint job. It's got 6 main guns, 2 secondaries, 1 on each side there. Main guns are spinally mounted. It's supposed to be a weapon controller, or maybe a... I'm not sure why that firing thing is there. Maybe just be left over from testing. But yeah. Anyway, it's important to note that the Kolibri has 6 wins here, so if it is victorious in this battle, it will be inducted into the Hall of Champions. Let's go ahead and find out if that's going to be the case, or if the Loathing's going to put a stop to the Kolibri's march toward victory here. Kolibri getting some shells in, but they dunked into the water. A little bit of a miss there. Loathing also missing. Those shells look like they might connect. Yes, they did, right on the deck of the Kolibri there. The weakest part of the Kolibri's armor. This initial approach is the Oh, wow, the Loathing lost a gun. Its rear gun has been blown off. But, yeah, this initial... Oh! Jeez! That absolutely shattered that superstructure and disabled this, central gun. Wow! Yeah, those heavy armor rings didn't really help that gun any. So it must have been a direct turret that popped that gun back there. Oh, and those shells are coming in. Kolibri just wailing away. Let's actually go check on the Kolibri. It's barely even damaged. It's 99.6% health. It looks like some barrel damage to the secondary, and that little chunk there is all the damage the Kolibri's taken. Whereas the Loathing is down to 75%. Oh man, those blocks are just blowing off like confetti. Loathing listing heavily. Saw a bunch of fragments spray out there from the Kolibri secondary Hesh rounds. Oh, it's getting a lot of water skips right now. It must be aiming something towards the bottom of the Loathing there. But the Loathing has gone dead in the water at this point. Oh, and it loses its final gun. It's barely staying afloat. So repair bots are working away though, but it is kind of been reduced to a wreck. Oh man. All that beautiful block confetti there. And oh, that is an AI dead Loathing. There we go. That is the end of round 1 here, folks. We'll go ahead and get this restarted, and we'll get to round 2 underway. Kolibri is 1 victory away from getting into the Hall of Champions. All it needs to do is win this match, so I'm pretty excited. I mean, who wouldn't be if their ship was in this position, you know? Oh man, Kolibri taking a hit to the bow there. Like I keep saying, this initial approach is the most dangerous time for the Kolibri, because the distance makes the shells plunging fire, and that front gun just tends to get nailed if the Kolibri does take a hit. Once it gets in and it manages to get that turn going, it gets into a lot stronger position. Oh, it looks like the Kolibri may have selected a one of the bow blocks on the Loathing here. Having trouble landing the shots. Oh, but it looks like the Loathing has done something similar. He's aiming towards the front of the Kolibri. So both vessels are having difficulty actually hitting each other. Oh, but that was definitely a hit. Doesn't seem to have managed to get through the hit it. No, it did not get through the stone underlay deck armor of the Kolibri, which is... Actually, that points to the Loathing's guns being pretty weak, because wood backed by stone is not that difficult to penetrate, even with explosions. Oh, the Loathing has lost a lot of buoyancy in its bow. Oh yeah, look at the bow, it's absolutely shredded. Turned into a cheese grater. And still the Kolibri shooting its bow. It's destroyed all of those blocks, but none of those blocks are the block. Looks like it may have selected a new block now, but it's still towards the front of the ship, which is down in the water. Definitely making things a little difficult for the Kolibri. The Loathing isn't doing much better. It's not landing many hits, and when it doesn't do a lot of damage. That got awfully close to hitting that front turret. Loathing taking a hit from the Kolibri secondary there, but both ships doing really well at just not taking damage. Oh, but there we go. That was a hit right to the superstructure. Just like before, the center gun there got taken down by the hit. Another hit in there. Loathing is listing heavily. Oh, showed its side armor. Got the shells straight in through there. Popped both of the front guns. Loathing might capsize here. Does not look like it's actually going to capsize, but it is having some serious issues. Its barrels are actually able to aim down through its own deck and fire, though, on this last remaining gun, so it's not all over yet. Loathing is definitely struggling. Oh, another big hit to the bow. The Kolibri just bound and determined to not allow the Loathing to have a bow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Loathing might be going down. Yep, she is 80% in sinking, folks. Down she goes, completely under the water before the despawn starts happening. No doubt about that was sinking this time, this time around. So that is it, folks. This battle is over, and the Kolibri is officially retiring into the Hall of Champions. There's not a whole lot to look at on her aesthetics-wise. Man, if I'd known it was going to perform this well, I would have spent more time on aesthetics, but it was right at the deadline, and I kind of slapped this thing together, so I was not expecting it to get very far. Just kind of threw it out there as something to have in the tournament. But she has managed to get into the Hall of Champions, so I'm happy with that. If you think the Kolibri deserves a place in the Hall of Beauty, there's going to be a comment down below saying to induct her into the Hall of Beauty. Upvote that comment if you agree. If you don't think she deserves it, then upvote the comment that says do not induct. Simple as that. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.